Heroes and the Legends, Dynasties, Obolong Jedi. The first battle was about to begin. The Obolong forces were going to wage war in space against the Toya Dynasty. The Toya Dynasty of the Rishans, although on the side of Catherine and their benefactors, the clerical, who were on the side of Zarya of the Orishian Bankeran. These Orishian forces were on opposite sides. However, Claire of the Orishians still supported his fellow Orishians in the Toya dynasty, and thus blessed them with great mechs, and enabled them to have advanced ships as well. The Orishian technology and brilliance of their scientists quickly adapted to space travel, which proved to be a very awful problem for the Obolon Jedi, as they too were technologically advanced. Still, the two technological forces were about to square off in space. Leading the Toya forces against the Obolon was Warren, the mighty spear. Although he was used to battling on the fields of war, he now had to battle in space. He got advice from their chief advisor Shen, and that in order for them to succeed, they must rely heavily on the mechs from the Clear Coat. Ego, who is the shield of the Toya dynasty, did not matter if it's on the battlefield, in space, with mechs, or whatever. They will achieve their objectives and gain glory to the Toya dynasty by defeating the mighty Obolon clans once and for all. One person also was eager for a fight. His name was Wong Hong. He was a brute officer of the Toyo and was very well determined to see their forces win. And so they advanced in their ships towards the Obolon territories. The Obolon territories were being guarded by Maizani Obolon Jr., the son of Mizani I. He is the cousin of Fong Obolon, who is the shogun. He is a brilliant tactician and a fearsome warrior. With him were the Tri-Li clan members and the Obolon Special Forces, elite forces created after the story of 4A, where they were almost like super soldiers and able to take on the hardest of opponents. Mizani relished the fact that he could face the top generals of the Toya clan. So these fools want to taste my spear, do they? Still, this is in space. However, I got my space battle suit, and it has adapted to my fighting styles in space. These Toya fools, they think they can match us on our own turf? Ha! Where the enemy get a whiff of my power as I display it in the vastness of space. Go forth, my special forces. Let us rain down on the enemy's ships ourselves. Tri-Li clan, defend the command ship and give us cover fire. And so the forces of the Toya dynasty began to fire against the Obolon forces. The fleets of ships began to fire one another. It was an amazing display of firepower and might. However, suddenly, one noticed something from the command ship of the enemy. It was very startling indeed. It was Mizani and his special forces coming out in special spacesuits out to meet them in battle. One was stunned. One Horn wanted to fight them. And Shane advised them to stay calm. The enemy is trying to lure them. Instead, we'll kill the Obolon Number two, with our cannons, all cannons, direct your fire, destroy and kill Mizani. We'll be one step closer to winning this war. Fire! All the cannons directed directly at Mizani. This is exactly what Mizani wanted. Mizani then got his great spear and charged it up. And Juan felt the spiritual pressure. And he trying to tell Shane, Shane, stop your attack. It's a trap. Shane's like, impossible. No one could stand the power of spaceships, cannons. No mortal person. Attack. Juan tried to tell Shane that Mizani and a few of the Umano forces were primes, and so they were above average mortals. And then Mizani, like clockwork, charged up his spear and launched an attack, deflecting the enemy cannons all over the place, and thus directly attacking their own ships. The Toya ships were greatly damaged by their own fire, which was blasted directly back at them by the power of Mizani. See, go forth. There's an opening in their ship. You charge it in, boys. It's time for a fight. The struck of fear had gripped the Toya forces. One man had crippled the entire fleet. How in the world are they supposed to bring down the shogunate if one man was this strong? Juan then summoned the courage of his men. Men, do not fear him. He is coming to the ship. Here we have an equal chance. We slay him by our hands. Once we do, we present his head to the emperor. Forward! So they prepared for the enemy to board. While Mizani and the special forces boarded the ship, they encountered clerical mechs. These are mechs are from the clerical. It seems that the Eurasians are playing us for fools. We're all secretly working together. Perfect. I crushed them. Let's go. Then Mizani used his spear and dodged the clerical mechs. Although they had shields, he broke their shields very easily and did away with them. And then Juan Hon and Egro, these three powerful fighters of the Toya, surrounded Mizani. Mizani was excited. Alright, the most powerful warriors in the Toya dynasty, come forth. My spear shall deliver your heads to my cousin and strike fear across the universe. One said, my spear will end you. Fight me. And so the two spearmen fought. It was a magnificent show. While their spears clashed, both Wong Hong and Ergo tried to attack on Mizani, but their Oblong special forces blocked their attack. While all this was going on, the Tri-Li clan and the other command ships of the Oblong resumed their attack. They were firing upon the Toya forces and destroying their ships. Sheen was flabbergasted. The enemy commander is in our ship and the attack is still? What is this? Is Mizani so powerful that he can survive the destruction of our ship while still being in it? We have no choice. We can't beat them in space. We have to lie on the battlefield when we have an equal and better chance. All units, begin to evacuate. All units, evacuate the ship at once. He gave the orders and the Toya were retreating. Mizani and Juan was unable to finish their fight. Mizani was a little disappointed. You Toya said to be strong. I heard great things about you in the dimensions. But alas, you have come to an unfamiliar territory. Within 100 years, you still have not learned nothing. Come back again when you're ready to face a real man. Boys of war. And then the Toya escaped before their ship was exploded, and Mizani and the special forces went back in space and flying back to their home ship. Mizani was a little disappointed, but he saw the eagerness of the enemy's willingness to fight. He knew in the plains of fields of battle, you'll be finally satisfied.